What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Born2BNerd Podcast. My name is Lance.
My name is Ethan.
And we got some fun stuff planned today. A heartfelt conversation that I've been inspired to discuss this week. Something exciting happened for both of us this week as far as an experience is we got to see the Demon Slayer movie. You went, what day did you go?
I went yesterday on Tuesday.
Oh, you went yesterday in the afternoon and I went yesterday evening?
Yeah.
Dude, I thought I wasn't going to be able to see it, and I almost...
Your times got messed up or something, right? Were you supposed to see it at like 10:30?
So I thought pre-orders were supposed to go up, which some people were able to pre-order the tickets weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago or so.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what we did, because as soon as pre-orders went up, they went up on I think August 14th. And we had a guy that whenever we plan to go as a group, he buys all the tickets and then we just pay him back. And so that's what the plan was. And then a week ago, I was talking to my brother. We're on our way to work, and I'm like, dude, I'm just ready to see this movie. He's like, yeah, so-and-so never could get those tickets. I said, what?
Trucker.
What do you mean? He was like, yeah, he wasn't able to get them. I was like, so we're not seeing the movie? He's like, I mean, I don't know. You can look it up. I'm like, what?
How did this all fall on my shoulders?
Yeah, after like seeing how, like people were talking about the theaters packing out and stuff. I was like, dude, it's over. I'm not going to get to see it. But luckily, I guess the theater around near here just isn't as popular. So, or the movie isn't as popular here.
Yeah.
But we were able to get a ticket for yesterday. So, we went and saw it last night.
Yeah. I knew I don't see movies open in weekend anymore. Like, that's not a thing that I do, especially here in Atlanta. It's not a fun time. I think Atlanta might for live venue shows, like music shows, and for movies, I think Atlanta might have the worst audiences that I've ever experienced anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like being in a packed theater anymore.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
Like I don't like that anymore. So I knew that I wasn't going to go see it on the weekend, and I was off Tuesday. So I was like, I'll just go then in the middle of the day. It's got to be a pretty good one. And North DeKalb Mall is still open, and they're pretty chill. So I went over there, and there was like 10 people in there with me. Weird vibe from the people like next to me, though. I don't know what was going on with them. Everybody was locked in, enjoying the movie. The people next to me, like, they kept getting up, and they would like lean forward like really far, and then they would lean back, and then all of a sudden they took up the armrests and just laid across the seats with a blanket, and were like, I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they were doing adult things. They were what, like 8 seats down from me?
Yeah.
Like on the very back row. And you have to choose your seats. So they knew that someone was in there beforehand when they bought the seats. Because there was no one back there when I bought mine. That's why I picked it.
Yeah.
So they knew somebody was back there, and they were doing some weird stuff. I don't know, man. The whole movie. And then they left like halfway through the movie. And then the other 2 people that were with them, also under blankets, stayed in there. It was weird, dude. It was a little sus. But it was, whatever. It was cool to see an anime movie in theaters.
Yeah.
So, yeah. How was your movie going experience?
Well, apart from like the guy in front of me, my brother being the tallest dude in the theater.
No. Was yours packed? Was yours pretty full?
No, it wasn't. Okay. I technically could have moved if I wanted to. There's some like empty seats we were on the back row, and there were some empty seats, but I didn't feel like moving. Like I had them, my brothers on either side of me. So I wanted to stay there so I could communicate as we're watching the movie,
Yeah.
But it was fine. You just had to kind of like every once in a while, the subtitles would kind of reach a little bit further out. So I'd be like, was that word to say? Okay. But yeah. But it was fine. Yeah. The crowd was pretty quiet for the most part. Yeah. It was what'd you think of the movie we're doing a non-spoiler, reaction. So we're just gonna
non-spoiler.
Yeah.
Not even a review, I don't think. Just thoughts on the movie, I think. I'll be honest. First off, I enjoyed the movie. The visuals were great. The emotional parts of it when it hit.
Yeah.
It gave backstory that I've been waiting for a long time for some characters that I was like, which is honestly probably my favorite part of the movie. However, I will say that movie's long as shit.
Yeah, it was long.
It's a long ass movie, dude. And I had to pee about halfway through, and I was like, I don't want to miss any of this, because I feel like it's one of those movies where like you're gonna miss something integral to the story. Like you don't, and I don't want to miss that. So I was holding it the whole time, and dude, I was dying. But the biggest thing I want to say is that when I found out that they were doing it as a movie, I was kind of like why? I didn't really. I mean, I guess they're trying to make as much money and capitalize on the popularity of it to make as much money as they can. But it was like, I don't know, like seems a little odd. But I was down for it. I was like, I'm gonna go watch an anime movie in theaters. It'll be fine. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like that series, lends itself better as a series than it does as a 2.5 hour film.
Yeah.
I personally felt like there were a lot of instances in that movie where I was like, I feel like this is getting drug on. Like some of these fight scenes were being just like, I felt like I didn't have time to breathe.
Oh yeah, it was packed.
Like it was just film. Boom, fight scene, boom, a boom, a boom. And then like you'd have this like a tiny little respite, and then boom, 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 boom. Yeah. To the point where a lot of the fights, even though they were amazing, sound effects were amazing, there were a lot of times where I found myself during the fight scenes, I was like, not waiting for it to be over, but I was like, honestly, waiting for it to get to the next thing. And I feel like that's because of the pacing of the film. Whereas, and I tracked them a few times, like multiple times throughout the movie, where I was like, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And into the episode. I did that like five plus times.
Yeah, there's a chance. Movie. There's a chance that they do that, kind of like they did with the Mugen Train movie.
Yeah, because that's how it's designed. It's like basically an OVA of sorts.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I was just watching it, and I was like, in some of these instances, when something happened, I was like, shit, like. And then immediately, bam, right into something else. And I was like, imagine if I had to wait a whole ass week for the next episode after what just happened. Holy shit, the impact. But you didn't have time to breathe, because, I mean, as soon as something would happen, it was just bam, right to the next thing.
Yeah. Well, I say it definitely was like a fast-paced, hit the ground running kind of film, literally. I personally didn't mind it. It kept me on my seat, the edge of my seat the whole time. I will 100% support if they decide to do what they did with Mugen Train and convert it into episodes later on down the line, maybe like the end of this year or whatever. And like, especially what they did with the Mugen Train arc, where they kind of expanded on it, and showed a little bit more backstory and a little bit more, a few more extra scenes and stuff. That would be really awesome if they did that. There were a couple moments that I thought I would have liked to have seen, drawn out a little bit more, but understood why they were short. I won't get into anything specific, but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was, for me personally, I thought it was fine. I had a great time. My only issue is purely technical. I think it could have been, I heard other people had the same experience, but basically kind of like the main fight of the movie, a good portion of that was so loud that I had to cover my ears. I don't know if it was the same for you.
No, mine wasn't that, but I will say, dude, I about shit myself. So the surround sound was really good in our theater. And there was a point towards the end where one of those crows says, and he's like, whatever he says, he calls, maybe he calls somebody's name, or he's like, I'm here or something. I don't know what he says, but he says it. And dude, I thought someone was right behind. There's no one behind me. I'm at the back of the wall. It sounded like this motherfucker was in my ear right behind me. And it scared the shit. Like all the blood from my head just went whoop and started radiating throughout my body. Dude, it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
So just,
Yeah.
that just made me remember that. God.
Yeah. It could be technical thing with the theater. Joey said that he had the same issue with his movie where like that one scene was really loud in his theater.
Yeah.
So I guess just a warning, just in case, it does, as a potential for it to get really loud in certain parts. But yeah, man, I had a great time. It was fun. It was emotional, as we all expected. And I think I realized halfway through, I was like, I would probably be crying a little right now if I wasn't in a theater. If I was just watching it at home, But I think it was because I was like kind of, the loudness of the speakers would come in and out. So like that would kind of pull me away because like, ooh, that one hurt a little bit, that screeching or screaming or whatever, just right in my ear. Not only that, but like kind of having to like teeter around the person in front of me every now and then, especially like if there's a emotional monologue or something, that kind of took me out of it as well. So, but it was still a fun experience.
Yeah. So on that note, I will say the exact same thing. I was like, if I was in my own house watching this as a show, some of the scenes that happened in there, I was like, I 100% would have cried at that.
Yeah.
But because of the pacing of the film, and maybe the atmosphere had something to do with it too, of like my environment. But I don't think so, dude, because I remember I went to go see The Colors Within 6 months ago, whenever that came out. But that's designed as a movie. Like it's plotted out as a film. And the emotional beats hit the way a film should hit with emotional beats, right? So when I started crying in that movie, that's because that's how the emotion was supposed to read across a 90-minute span.
That's fair.
Whereas this, if it was a 22-minute episode, I probably would have, because my whole body and brain would have had time to have reset.
Yeah, you could say that about like the Mugen Train movie, where that movie, like you have a starting point, and even though the movie is like a short span of time, it kind of creates this buildup of, like loving. I'm hoping everyone's seen the movie by now or knows, like, is caught up with Demon Slayer, but I'll be careful just in case. But you're building up this character, and you're like falling in love with these characters as time goes by. So it's like preparing you for the climax, for this big emotional, drop, and that's why like that scene is like the ending of that movie is so emotional. Even today when I watch reactions, I'm like, ooh, that hurts.
Yeah.
But this one, it was just like a
yeah. Like
up and down kind of thing.
Like a seismograph, just like the whole way. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like, I almost felt, and it's like, oh, we're back in. Okay. Almost felt, oh, we're back in. So I do get that. I do get that.
But I still had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was still a really fun movie to watch.
Yeah. That first shot when it went through the like studio production logos or whatever you call it. And then it's just that first shot with the snow.
Yeah.
Amazing first frame. Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall,
graphics insane.
Yeah, there were a couple, I'm not going to lie, there were a couple computer generated stuff with like the pulsing like the blood organ stuff, where it's like pumping into what's his name, the main bad guy, his like, where he is, like all the like the weird pumping things. I don't know. As soon as I saw it, I was like, it looked very off. Other than that, though, it looked great.
Yeah. Well, there's I don't know I can't remember the exact details, but Joey was talking about how that like the big fight scene was like drawn in like with like 80 frames per second or something absolutely insane.
Jesus.
Yeah. I don't know the exact details, but apparently it's like they went absolutely insane with that animation. So,
well, cool. That's awesome.
I told him I'm gonna have to rewatch it in like breakdown method to see exactly what happened. Same with, I think it's episode 13 of the season 1, where they fight the 12, the spider guy. Yeah, and like I remember that when that episode aired, it it broke like records or whatever, like top rated episode or whatever. And I remember I didn't even know what had happened until they started breaking it down frame by frame, like, a few days later or whatever. And I think this is going to be the same where like in the moment I was just like, whoa. But I think later on down the road, when people get a hold of it and start breaking down the frames and show you what all they put in it, you'll be like, wow, they really went all out. But yeah, good movie. I was, I really enjoyed it, and I just love this story. I'm just ready to get to the next one.
Part 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they get a release date for that yet?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't think anything official.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Really good.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. Epic. Super epic. I think my biggest thing was honestly, even though the animation was amazing, the score was crazy. The score went right into my bones.
Dude, the score and the soundscape, like the sound design,
sound effects and stuff. Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah. Some of that, like the crap with like the thunder and all that.
Yeah.
With the lightning stuff, I was like,
yeah. And that I keep calling it buzzing, but that weird like buzzing horn thing that they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so epic. So epic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But
that's not the main topic for today, right?
No.
Just kind of getting the juices flowing. So we're both currently watching My Dress Up Darling.
Mm-hmm.
And this season 2 is just killing it, man. Every single episode. It's kind of the highlight of my week, to be honest, is this every week. And we have one more. It's really sad. But this most recent episode, and I do want to talk about, this is going to be slight spoilers because I need to like kind of pick it apart to talk about why it's made such an impact on me and why it kind of inspired me for this discussion. But yeah, this week's episode, we got this new character,
Akira.
Akira, yeah. And we learned a little bit about her backstory with, her mom made her get rid of all of her like anime and manga stuff.
Dude, opens up with like, Jesus.
Yeah. So and that alone is like a whole thing that we'll get into, but it kind of, it was about how she had to give that up and basically grow up, grow up to be an adult. And then she found an avenue, like she found these people from her college class that celebrated with her, celebrated anime with her and empowered her to like love what she loved and be who she wanted to be, who she felt natural being, and that made a big impact on me. And I wanted to talk about that as a concept on how like we experienced it in our lives and everything that goes in with that. What'd you think of that episode?
I mean, it was like, it wasn't like, I didn't have the exact same, experience that she did, obviously, but it was close enough and it was relatable enough.
Yeah. I feel like you've been confidently you for a long time.
Yeah.
That's how I know you to be, at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you also met me after I'd totally like, I'd already went to college and I was like fucking out. Like I gave what fucks I did still give about like what people thought about me and my nerdiness and all that shit. It was long gone by then. But in high school, yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of reservation that I still had that amongst my close friends, I was unabashedly me. Whether it was with video games or whether it was with anime at the time, it didn't matter. But to like people who weren't so close to me, I wasn't talking about anime. You know what I mean? I definitely wasn't wearing anime shirts or anything like that. The thing that like hit though was like a conversation that I had. It was only a couple years ago, so I was a grown ass man, But we were at like Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving or something like that. My cousin, who's like, I think he was 17 or 16 at the time, he was really getting into anime, and I was kind of like trying to shepherd him and be like, but just like be a cool older cousin to be like, dude, this is awesome. Explore this. This is amazing. This is what's good. Maybe stay away from that for a little bit. This is rad. And we're having this conversation at the table and everything. And then it kind of shifted to like Pokemon. And I remember my grandma being like, you still play with Pokemon cards? And this judgment, dude. And it was like, yeah, I do still participate in this thing that brings me joy, and it brings me to a place of like innocence where the bullshit didn't just like feed into my life from every direction, you know?
Ethan, everyone knows that whenever you become an adult, you ditch the Pokemon cards and you start collecting miniature cat figurines, okay?
Yeah. Well, maybe
cat farmers, all right? Little cat grandpa with a straw hat with a pitchfork in his hand.
Some people do.
Little cat figurine wearing Catholic robes, okay? You need to, that's what you do. You put it on like your wall, a little shelf, okay? Get rid of the Pokemon cards, cat miniatures.
Some people do. This people don't.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was this judgment that I hadn't experienced in such a long time. And I was like, holy shit. Like, as a 30-year-old, I felt that. I can only imagine Evan feeling that. You know, so when I watched that episode, that's what hit me. And I was like, holy shit. I didn't have to go through my mom, because that would have been like, dude, fuck me up. If my mom had been like, you're too old for this shit, it's done, out in the trash.
Yeah.
Like, because you could see how much it meant to her. Like, that was like her life. That was like her escape, you know? And she's supposed to give it all up.
Yeah.
And luckily my mom's a hoarder. She didn't. I've still got all of my stuff. But like, to think about what that would have felt like, dude, it hit so hard. I was like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
And then like the immediate like mind fuck that it did to her, where she was like, I can't let anyone know that I was, not only that like that I do still like this, but like that I ever like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when she sees the other two girls at the gotcha thing, and like that moment of like sheer just like panic and like mortification that she's even near the figurine, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, it's so relatable. But then like the turnaround, and like, I thought they handled it so well with like the immediate switch of like being so embarrassed to being like, holy shit, there are other people like me.
Mm-hmm.
And like that were super stoked just to talk to her, just because she was into the same thing that they were, you know? Yeah. And I mean, that was in college, right? That was like while they were in college.
Yeah.
Like early part of college, which is,
I think they're out of college now. Actually.
They're out of college now. Yeah. Cause they're older. They were making jokes towards the end of the episode about them being old. Right. And we just work to fuel our hobbies. But it was like, there is that, I remember it like going to college. Part of it was like meeting Kabi and Lukey and Joey and them, was like, shit, like there's a lot of people out there that feel about like anime just like I do. Like, this is sick. This is rad. Yeah. So just to see like her like find someone and find like a community, you know, it was just super relatable. It's a human story. It's very human.
Yeah. It had a really big impact on me as an episode, because I relate to it, I think, more so because I was like, as I grew up, had to give up previous stages every step of the way. My mom, like, you know, whenever PlayStation 2 came out, we had to give up our Super Nintendo. Yeah. Whenever, you know, we had like, I was always super into Pokemon. And once like I got to the age where I'm not supposed to play with like little toys anymore, all my little toys given away to my cousins and stuff, you know? Yeah. Same with like, you know, I went through a Yu-Gi-Oh card phase, and it got to the point where I would basically take preemptive measures and just start giving away stuff on my own, so that because I remember, you know, it got to the point where I stopped like bringing things up at home, but it even bled into like, I started to be afraid to talk about it amongst my friends and stuff too. So, you know, whenever I got into skateboarding, I sold all of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards to pay for like skateboard stuff, you know? Yeah. Even though I didn't want to lose that stuff. I liked that stuff, but I was like, this is what's in right now. This is what this is what will get me socially accepted.
Yeah.
That won't. So that's going to have to go so I can make sure that I have what's cool, you know?
Yeah. This is what is acceptable now on a social level.
I didn't have any friends in high school to talk about anime. I didn't watch anime. I still loved what I loved. And like whenever I would see it, I'd be like, ooh, that's cool, you know? But it stayed with me, you know? And then it was like that until college. My first year of college, I lived with some people that had Netflix, and Netflix had anime. And
Queen's Blade, dog.
I started watching it like at night when everyone was asleep and stuff. Just like I would just stay up and watch anime all night, every night, you know? And it was just a me thing. I didn't have anyone to share it with. And to be honest, like the reason I wanted to talk about it with you is because you were the people that like Akira meets at the gacha thing. That was you for me. Because I didn't, whenever, you know, what brought our friendship together, I think, was me wearing the Dragon Ball Z tank
during
top.
Practice.
That was my first step because I thought Dragon Ball Z was normal enough that I could wear it out and be like, oh, it's just a gym thing. You know, it's because I go to the gym a lot and like it's like Goku's fit and stuff, you know. And when you saw it and you brought up like anime, like outside of like just a gym bro thing, that's whenever I like slowly started to like become friends with you and see how like much you like nerded out, you know, and we're super like open with it. And then next thing you know, I'm wearing a Jujutsu Kaisen hat, you know. It's like, so that was this show kind of, this episode made a huge impact because I was like, bro, I know exactly what that feels like, you know. And I think a lot of people do, and it's messed up. It's so messed up that something so harmless, bro, so harmless, but just because it's, I don't know if it's infantilized or infantilized, is that the word? But I don't know, it's just seen as something that's immature, liking anime, liking video games, you know, when it's not true at all, you know. But people are being forced to like give things up like that just because of the misconception.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely I mean, I didn't grow up in Japanese culture, you know. I didn't grow up in Japan, so I don't really know how, but it would seem that it's a little bit more, for the most part, like accept anime and animation as a medium is accepted more for adults than it is over here. Animation over here is just air quotes cartoons, and cartoons equate to childhood. And
that was said to me so many times growing up. Whenever like as a young adult, even when I was in college, like anime, with the minute I would bring stuff up at home or whatever, because you know I started to kind of express it more, wear more anime tees, have more anime merch around me, and I remember my mom's husband would say like, just keep calling it cartoons. I'm like, bro, call it cartoons one more time. Call it cartoons one more time. But
it was and it was honestly like such a different time too, because like back then, like we're talking about high school or like, you know, early, like I don't know, like 13, 14 years old. So I'm talking about that era, and even into high school, like basically pre-Netflix, right? In order to find anime, like you had to order it, or you had to have somebody who had like a VHS collection with like random copies of anime, right? Different anime shows. And now it's just everywhere. You can go on like your phone at any time and watch like every season of everything. Like it's crazy. So the amount of it that's accessible would make sense that it is more popular now. But the fact that it's like cool to watch anime now, I still struggle with it, that it's like because it is cool, it's cool as fuck, but I don't know, man, like the idea that like people were being bullied for have never seen anime, that doesn't like really compute, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing, is like even today I'm still stuck in the mindset of being ashamed in like normal, you know, social circles to talk about or bring up the fact that I watch anime, even though like I'm way more confident in who I am now. it's still, I went on a date last year or the year before last year with some, just a person that I met, and we went on one blind date, kind of not a blind date, but a date. And, she had met me at the bar, the nerd bar. So I was like, do you you liked me even though you knew that I was like a nerd kind of thing. Like we were talking about it, and I still couldn't bring up the fact that I watch anime. Like she's like, oh yeah, what do you like to watch? And I was like, oh yeah, like Adventure Time. I've never seen Adventure Time ever, but I was so afraid to say anime. I was. And I think I went home that night. I was like, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Like, that's not how because that was the end of that date. Like it didn't go anywhere after that. But it made me think, I was like, if I still feel like afraid to hide something that I like, that's a huge part of who I am. That's already a bad sign.
Yeah.
But yeah, even today, like I feel like it's completely normal. I could have been like, yeah, I watch anime and nothing would have been wrong. But I'm still stuck in that, early 2000s mindset where like,
trauma brain, dude. It's fucking real. Yeah. Yeah, the episode, man, it was also like this whole season, I think more so this season than last season, but I'm like falling back in love with cosplay a little bit because it says like a kind of a segue of, speaking of like the old ways, right? I remember when I got into cosplay back in like 2011-ish, somewhere in there. That was still so, same thing with like anime. It was so like subculture that it was completely stigmatized. Like you're a grown ass adult and you dress up as cartoon characters. Mm-hmm. Are you like what? Like don't forget the fact that grown ass adults also do it every fucking week for their football team. Like forget that, right? The hypocrisy in it all. But anyway, that was 2011, 2012, and then I did my documentary on cosplay in 2013 for my doc class, and then for my like forget what your not your final for my to get my bachelor's like in my 405 or whatever it was. I did a continuation of that doc, right, as my main project, and that was 2015. And something happened with social media and cosplay around that time where out of nowhere, dude, being a cosplayer was super fucking in, and like it was the coolest things. It would get you likes, it would get you subscribers, it would get you all this clout and shit. And I could see it at cons, like going to cons before you get like someone like, hey, can I get a picture with you? Hey, yeah, it's cool. Or can I get your picture? You're one of my favorite characters. Yeah, it's cool. Blah blah blah. To where you would go up to someone like in today's cosplay culture, and it's like, hey, I love your character, blah, 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 blah. Can I get a picture with you? Or can I get a picture of you? And it's like, who are you working for? Like, what's your handle kind of thing? Like, what is this going to do for me? Mm-hmm. And it's just weird, man. Like, because it used to be so, like, I don't want to say honest, but it seemed so honest. And then it didn't. And this show is bringing me back to what it used to feel like to be up like all night with your friends making armor or making it could be a shitty costume, but it's going to feel awesome when one person recognizes you, right? Mm-hmm. At the con. It feels so good. And it just brought me back to that feeling of just like hanging out with your friends. Your shit's not even done yet. It's literally the night before the con and you're still getting it ready. Like on the drive over, you're still getting the last little bits together to the con. You're still getting it together. And this season's like bringing me back to that. Mm-hmm. Like when, like what it felt like in the most like genuine way, Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I've only cosplayed once, and that was with you with our gangsta cosplays.
Yeah.
I'd like to try to do another one.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just this show is able to like hone in sometimes on specific experiences, like we were talking about before, or like we're talking about with cosplay, or like the 2 episodes before with like the sleepover episode, right? Mm. And I think I texted you about it when I watched it, because it was like a masterclass in the ups and downs and waves of emotion that someone in both people were feeling in that situation, of like Gojo being like, he's so innocent, and he's like never had like those kind of thoughts. And
Yeah.
he's just freaking out like, God, like maybe if I, he's justifying it in his head. Maybe if I stay awake, then it won't technically be a sleepover, which
Yeah.
leads to the whole misunderstanding. And it starts off in that episode as this like comedic thing, because she's like, oh shit, and that it's a misunderstanding, like a typical Three's Company slapstick comedy kind of misunderstanding. But then you see what it does to her throughout the episode, dude, and it's like, holy shit, like the conflicting emotions that she has during it, of her not being ready, of her like loving, like literally, she just said it in like the previous episode, like, I love him, and I'm gonna tell him. And then like her justifying like that she wanted to go through with it because she thinks that he does, right? And she's like, I'm going to put on sexy underwear and all this stuff because I think he'll like this. And then she's just like, absolutely can't go through with it.
Right.
This like crazy block. It's just like, it was just unbelievable to see how they tiptoed that line of like anxiety and drama, and like, because there was still comedy in it too. But the whole ebb and flow of it, the emotional ebb and flow of the misunderstanding, was handled so good.
Yeah.
So good. Dude, I was just like, this show's amazing. The show is like a 10 out of 10. Like it's it's a fucking 10.
Yeah, I loved season 1, and season 2 is just, I did not think they could go up,
Yeah.
like, and this season has been so good. Not only that, like, as I've been studying animation for a few months now, and I've been learning about perspective and stuff. So now it's like always on my brain when I watch stuff. I notice, I'm like, ooh, ooh, and My Dress Up Darling, it's like every frame, it's just, it blows my mind. And this season has just been crazy the whole time, and it's really sad that we only have one episode. But yeah, it's what this show has done too, especially this season. I've talked about doing like a 10 anime that changed my life kind of thing. And I was like, I wonder if people will be able to relate to that or understand how you can have something like be influenced from an anime in your real life, And not only does like My Dress Up Darling have moments like that where something has happened where I'm like, ooh, I wonder, like, this kind of makes me want to like reevaluate how I address this scenario in my real life, But they do the same thing in that anime, which is what makes it so powerful, because like Gojo, he's not experienced with anime and video games until, this past year. Yeah. And he's exploring all these new things, and it's having an effect on him. Like, he's watching these anime for modding, and it's making him think about how he lives his own life, and thinking like, oh, maybe it's not so bad to do this, or maybe I should be more confident in this, or whatever it is, And it's so cool. This show is just so like, this is officially going in my favorite 10, my top 10 list, because not only is it just phenomenally done, but it's also so meta in how I've lived my life and how I continue to live, and the types of like, it's my world, Like I always say, like Maudie's friend group, like her classmates that she's friends with, I was like, I would 100% be friends with those kids. Like, they all seem so cool. And like so relatable in their personalities and stuff. I was like, that just like, I remember being in like my little friend groups of like, not like the social friend groups, but my like intimate, 3 or 4, and how like you felt completely free, and how like good and accepting they all are and everything. And it's just so good. So good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unreal, man. Like, the other thing I was going to say is like the way that they're able to weave in like little bitty subplots that add little bitty layers of a situation, right? Like in the sleepover episode of the subplot of the video game itself, when he's like, I've never played a horror game.
Yeah.
When Gojo, and he's like, it works its way into that thing, so he's going to stay up and play this game so he can understand it and make the costumes and all that. And then like it could just be a throwaway like scare thing they could have done, but they do this like really fucked up story
Yeah.
that like is legitimately horrifying. And I mean, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
And which only like it fucks him up even more because he's already like all, wigged out. So, which adds to the hilarity of the situation because he is thinking furthest thing of like any type of physical interaction that she has misconstrued the situation of what she thinks he wants to happen. You know, dude, it's so well done. It's so unbelievably well done. Like watching something like that and how they wrote that, dude, it makes me want to be a better writer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I don't know that I can ever write shit like that. Like that well layered. I don't know that I ever could. Like it's so well done.
Yeah. They're doing a really good job. I feel bad for the people who have hated on it, to the point where they haven't given it a chance.
Yeah.
Because it's so powerful. It's so good.
It's so much, man. And like you were said, like it's meta in like how you feel for your life, but it's also like it's one of those shows too that I was talking to somebody else about. I think I was talking about the Rudy Rocks show, and I was like, it's one of those like informational shows where it throws a lot of like actual factual scientific information at you, where you're actually kind of learning stuff as you're watching the show. And with all of the unbelievable storytelling, the romance, the animation, all of that, My Dress Up Darling also does the same thing where it gives you all of this information where you're like, oh my God, like that makes so much sense. Or like this season, they're doing the thing with the photography. And like they're talking about like if you like the what's her name, the really short one, short girl, she's like, they're talking about techniques to make her look taller, to make her look more adult, right? And then like the other girl's talking about, well, if you want to photograph her, do it from these angles because it accentuates her legs and like her torso, it gives them her stature and like all this, these freaking filming techniques, and you're like, it's a goddamn show. It's got everything. Like it's crazy.
The techniques and like makeup techniques and cosplay and all that.
Yeah.
Scenarios. Like even that moment in a few episodes ago with, I forget their name.
With the tape?
No, with the photography line where they were talking about like, if you want to take a break, just ask the photographer to like step in the back of the line and like tell people that, they're not taking any more.
Yeah.
Which is is most likely exclusively Japanese.
Japanese thing.
Yeah. It would not work here because Americans do not care. They'll do what they want.
Me first in the gimme gimmes. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was cool to see that,
Mm-hmm.
I love anime that do that kind of focus on the technicalities and mechanics of a certain, hobby or whatever.
Yeah.
You get that with sports anime a lot, but every now and then you'll get other anime that kind of focus on different things. Like, I think it's Bakuman or Barakuman. I always get the two mixed up. Maybe it's Barakuman, but it's about the mangakas, the two kids that become mangakas together.
Mm-hmm.
I have it.
Yeah, you tried to get me to watch it a few times, and I'm going to watch it. It's just still on my list.
Bakuman.
Yeah.
This goes into, everything from like applying or auditioning like your works for Shonen Jump, like how agencies work, how you have to like, there's like contests that they enter to try to get their piece put in, get their, publicity out, all kinds of stuff. It goes into like later on in the series, it goes into having your manga get adapted to anime. It goes into like voice acting, choosing like voice acting for the characters. It is crazy technical. And I love stuff like that.
Yeah. That came out in like what, 2012? 14, somewhere in there. The anime adaptation, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, man. Dress Up Darling hits on so many levels because, like, it's one of those shows that I think could be put into a box. Like, on the surface, you think that it could totally be put into just like it's a shoujo, like it's just another shoujo, and it's so much more than that. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I have you read any of the manga? I can't remember.
No.
I'd be curious to see like how faithful they are to it. Like, I imagine pretty faithful, but I wonder if it hits the same, or if like some of the techniques that they're doing in the anime are specific to the anime. You know what I mean? Like, would it have the same impact?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have some of the Japanese manga, but can't read those.
Yeah. Did you pick them up while we were over there, or you got them somewhere else?
No, I got them at Half Price Books in Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah. I'm in a mode of like emotional. I'm either watching like emotional stuff right now, dude, or I'm just watching garbage. Like it's one or the extreme of the other.
Yeah. I mean, I went from watching Taco Peas. What's it called? Taco Peas. What's it called? I'm blanking.
Taco Pea?
No, Taco Pea.
Taco
Pea. Seasonal anime. Summer. Let me.
Taco Pea.
Taco Pea.
Taco Pea.
Taco Pea. Which season is it from? I thought it was from summer. I thought it was a summer thing, but I'm not seeing it. There's no way it's from spring. Taco Pea's Last Wish or something? I forget what it's called. Tako. Why is there no English? Taco Pea's Original Sin? That's what it is. Jeez.
Original Sin. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I went from watching Taco Pea's Original Sin to watching The Water Magician. Like, but I mean that's the whole thing about the fandom is that, you know, like if we're talking about Dress Up Darling, like Martin can watch, you know, she's watching these anime like Blaze and the one that they're cosplaying now, the horror game, but then she's also playing the like, you know, the Arrow game.
Yeah.
So it's like we're just fans, man. We're just fans.
Yeah, just fans eating it all up. I started one today, dude. I'm not ashamed of it, but I am a little bit ashamed of myself, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I started one today that's called I Am a Behemoth, an S-ranked monster, but mistaken for a cat. I live as an elf girl's pet. Pretty good little isekai. It's not a good little isekai. It's funny. I don't know. It's just nice.
Hey, I mean, I watched Reincarnated as a vending machine, and I thought that was really funny.
But I also, dude, I think I told you about that show, Rock is a Lady. There's another word to the title, but that one, I finished it today.
Okay.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah?
Yeah, like solid. Like honestly solid. Some of the animation is not my favorite. Like they go from 2D to 3D during the music stuff. So that kind of bummed me out. But overall, like it's good. Like it's the way that the band forms and the personalities in the band. I like it. It's my thing.
Yeah.
It's my jam. Yeah.
Yeah. I do get I enjoy a good music anime every now and then, but I feel like you've watched quite a few at this point.
Dude, I just bought today because I'm getting in the mood where I want to watch Beck again. I get in that. I love Beck, Mongolian Chop Squad. I can't recommend that anime enough. But it's not on anything. It's only on YouTube in like a whatever 480p rip to it, or maybe a 720. I don't know, but today I bought it on DVD, like the whole series, just because I was like, I'm tired of watching this every time I watch it, like on freaking YouTube. So yeah, I bought it today, and whenever it gets in, I'm probably gonna start watching it again because I'm in that mood where I want to create, I want to play music, and I want to like watch a beautiful journey. So I'm probably gonna watch that and Kids on the Slope again, just to get those creative juices going.
Yeah, I haven't been watching. I tried to rewatch Chobits because I like to put something on when I'm playing games. Especially when I'm like in the morning when I wake up, I'm just having a coffee and I'm playing my quiet game, Minecraft or whatever, and I want to have something playing on the side. And I was really in the mood for Chobits, man. I love that movie. I love that show. I've watched it like so many times by now. It's just like it's got this texture to it, and the music, the sound, everything has this like texture that is so nostalgic and so peaceful. So I
early
just like
2000s, just like
yeah. And the dub is good for that series.
Oh, yeah?
I like the dub for that series. Yeah. So, but it's not playing on anything. But I think it's on Netflix, which I don't. I deleted my Netflix. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start watching. I watched the first episode of The Summer Hikaru Died. It was so haunting, but I want to finish it. I've just been trying to get the right
that's the
mindset.
dude, right? Where his friend died. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember you talking about. What is that on? Is that on Crunchyroll?
yeah. It's on Crunchyroll. It is. It's horrifying. The first episode was, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't seen an anime like that. The last horror, like actual horror I watched, I think might have been Shiki, which is super old by now. And I think I watched it shortly, like pretty close to when it was released. So I don't know, like nothing that's like a actual horror, like Attack on Titan, I don't think it counts.
Yeah.
Tokyo Ghoul, I don't think it counts. But like shows where it's
Like it's meant to fuck you up.
It's meant to be a horror,
Yeah.
But nothing's ever touched like, live action horrors, that type of thing. Nothing's ever gotten that close as like that. The first episode of The Summer Hikaru Died, the way they handle like sound and stuff, where it's like you're watching like, these people are creeping through, opening this door to see like they know something's behind it, and they're like looking, and meanwhile you have this like light, the street light that's making this weird creepy like moaning buzzing sound. Is like building in your ear. It's like I've never watched an anime that's made me feel like that before.
What is it called again?
The Summer Hikaru Died. Yeah, I've never been genuinely scared watching anime. And that first episode, I've only seen the first episode, but that first episode, it like a Parasite didn't do it. Like nothing's ever done that. And so I'm excited to see how they handle that type of genre in an anime.
Yeah. There was this one that I saw. I forget where it was. The problem with like a lot of horror in anime that I've seen, or like horror, is that like they kind of like tell you that it's supposed to be scary, but it's not. Like it's more just kind of like supposed to be creepy in a way, or something. It doesn't hit that like psychological level, or maybe it's not even psychological. Maybe it's that like that base level of fear of like fight or flight that you get from like live action horror. Yeah. I don't know why, for the most part, that they just can't. I don't think I've ever seen anything that makes me feel that way.
Yeah, I've seen a few anime that try. There's like Another, that old anime Another. It's about like these students who are being like picked off one by one in this like haunted school kind of thing. It's hard to like. It's been over a decade since I saw it, so I might be getting the plot wrong, but something like that, So it's close to like that horror thing, but even that is just like it. I don't know if it's the animation or what, but it just didn't quite. It didn't scare me,
Yeah.
This is the first time where I watched the first episode. I was like, I don't think it's the right time to watch this. This is genuinely scaring me.
Did I tell you that I had like a kind of freaked out moment the other day, which I don't get because I don't watch horror stuff. But did you ever see Bone Tomahawk? Holy shit! It came out the same time that The Hateful Eight came out.
Are you the person who's been bringing up Bone Tomahawk the past week?
Probably.
It's like it must watch. Yeah, it is you. You brought it up a couple times over this last week,
dude. I'm telling you, it's just fucked up, and it's not like super scary or anything. It's just so unnerving. Like when Shelby went off, Shelby was gone, It was just me and the dogs. And I don't know, man. It was just like there are a couple scenes in that movie that are super fucked up. And it just like made me really uneasy to the point where I got done watching it. It was like 9:00. And I was like, I'm not going to go to bed right now. This is not a good idea. So I put on The Hateful Eight, which is like a 3-hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, and I don't, you know me, like I don't stay up past like 10:30.
Yeah.
And I watched that whole goddamn movie just to get the other one like out of my mind.
Yeah. Sounds wild.
It's a fucked up movie, man. It's good. Everyone should watch it though. It's really good.
You say that, but you're like, I don't know if I want to traumatize myself, voluntarily traumatize myself.
Well, I will say this too. At its core, it's a good Western. Like it's a really good Western.
Yeah.
So there's also that. And it's Kurt Russell with a sick ass mustache. So
I haven't seen I haven't watched a live action movie. I don't know how long, man. I really don't. I tell you what's in like I know it's kind of branching off from the topic now, but you know what I'm excited to see?
Weapons.
I'm excited to see that new Ryan Gosling space movie.
Oh yeah, I saw the one at the commercial.
Yeah, I love space movies, astronaut movies, things like that, you know?
Yeah.
Even though the whole point of the movie is I am not an astronaut. I put the not in astronaut. That's what he says. But still, like the whole, like, you know, all of those movies, Interstellar, The Martian,
Gravity.
Dude, Gravity is a one-time watch for me. It's too like something about a void that
they tapped into it, dude.
Yeah.
They tapped into that shit.
Yeah.
Where you're like, just like the little things they do in that movie where like she's spinning and she's just gaining inertia and she can't stop. And you're like, oh, fuck, no, God, please stop. Man, yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, there's a couple movies that have moments like that. Like I was saying, The Martian, the very end where like he Iron Man's it and then he almost misses. You're like, I can't.
Yeah.
Not into the void, man. Not into the void.
Yeah.
If I was an astronaut and I was like needing to do something outside of the ship, if I would say someone has to be out there with me with a gun, because if I get like let loose somehow, just shoot me. Don't let me float out there and panic for hours.
I don't think guns work in space, do they?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
There's no oxygen in space.
A harpoon or something. Anything, dude. Just take me out.
Take me off.
Take me. I can't picture floating out into nothingness for however long it takes me to die.
It's a scary fucking concept.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd rather float out into the open ocean on a life raft.
God, I don't know. That's fucking scary as shit too. That's a scary thing.
It is, but I still don't think it's as bad as floating out into open space. Dude, there's no life. No life. Yeah, dude. Good point. I could just do that.
Yeah. It's just spinning, man. I'm telling you. In Gravity, they captured that so freaking good. When like it's like in her helmet and she's like, whatever that she's doing, and it's just like gaining. God, it's so bad. It's so terrible.
They're good though. Space movies they hit different. Same with Alien. I love space movies. I love alien movies.
Did you ever see Moon? Did I ever show you Moon?
I think I've seen Moon. I mean, I don't remember it. I don't know. It's probably something I saw a long time ago. Maybe I might not have actually. That might be one that I haven't seen. I know what the picture looks like, what the cover looks like. I can picture it in my head. It's like just a man with like a 70s haircut.
Yeah, and like it looks like a record wheel in the back, like the thing. Yeah. That's a super good one.
Yeah.
That one's really, really good.
Yeah, I could watch. Like, they could put out 100 of those movies a year, and I would watch every single one of them.
Yeah,
just like.
Did you ever watch the Mickey 17 one? Just came out.
I wanted to, but I didn't go to theaters, and I don't know if it's out on anything yet.
I think it's out on like. I don't know if it's HBO. I can't remember what it's on. It's on something.
I missed it in theaters, so.
Yeah, I did too.
Amazon? Let me see. Is it on Amazon? No, free HBO Max.
All right, everybody. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Born2BNerd Podcast. If you want to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, you can head over there, check out this podcast and all of our other ones that we've done on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, and on YouTube, especially if you want to watch the videos. You can do that. Lance, where can people find you?
Born to be Nerd. I've been editing or trying to edit these new reaction videos that I've done with my brother. I've been having some trouble with that because DaVinci Resolve is trash. I don't care what anyone says. It is. It's trash.
No.
So I think we're gonna borrow his laptop and re-download Final Cut so I can start using that. But reaction series are coming back soon, hopefully. Hopefully sooner rather than later. I just gotta figure out how to. Everything's changed. Everything has changed. Like nothing.
Not the Wild West anymore, dude.
I don't have any of the setup that I had back in the day. So
yeah,
I'm having to like relearn everything, reset up everything. But hopefully soon we'll get it right. So reactions are coming soon. Yeah, that's it. Streams every now and then, but work's crazy, so that's tough. I don't want to promote and then not go live. So
yeah,
hopefully I'll be able to get back into the groove here before long.
Cool. If you want to see some motorcycle moto photo stuff, you can head over to Throttle Fox Moto Photo on my channel on YouTube for some fun moto vlogs and photography. Yeah. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.